All right, now we go to Minnesota, and let's see how bad it is, because lately on the YouTube, at least, it seems like the whole Somalia moved there. So I'm gonna be interesting to see how things are really up there. So first of all, with some data. First of all, the flag. I'm not gonna say kind of starts to look like Somali flag, but it is pretty nice flag. I mean, simple to draw. It's nice color. I kind of like it. The seal also is one of those birds here. I'm not sure exactly what kind of bird it is, but hey, it's pretty cozy. I mean, like when I see those colors and in this seal, it feels like a cozy state. It feels like a nice, quiet town. But we will see. Governor is Tin Walls. I have no idea how this guy still he's still a governor there after he lost the presidential election as a vice president. I don't know. It's extremely weird, but hey, it is what it is. What I'm interested in is population first, and you can see 5.8 million people, and they have a neutral increase. With all their policy that they have, they still have a neutral increase. So that probably is not gonna last for much longer. But look at this median household income. Again, this nonsense. It's $85,000, as you can see in 2023. Probably by now they're getting closer to 90,000. But they are one of those richest states in the United States. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Elevation is 370 meters on average. The highest one is 701 meters, and the lowest 183 meters. So you can see it's a landlocked state. They have an opening here to the lake, but not a sea or an ocean. And the official language, it's none, but spoken language is like 88%, not even 90%, 88% it's English. This is spoken. And they have Spanish, Somali, and Himburg. I have no idea what the fuck that is. But they even have the percentage for those, as you can see. So they're kind of hiding something here, in my opinion. This is the first one that I see with no percentage besides the English one, which is pretty weird, but hey, it is what it is. Now we have some Snapchats here, some pictures of how things are in Minnesota. As you can see, I have the Minneapolis right here, the main city, and a lot of highway and infrastructure, which is good. So I will assuming this one definitely is gonna be extremely blue. County, district, city, town, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why the water looks a bit weird here, but I guess that's a natural color, so I'm not gonna be too picky on that. The opening to the lake, look how nice it is. Again, very, very nice place. Warm summers, humid continental in most of the north part of the country, of the state, sorry. Warm summer, humid continental in this part right here. Not sure exactly why exactly that spot there and how exactly they measure that, but fine. And hot summer, humid continental, as we can see in this south part here. So pretty interesting, I would say. Let's see what else can we find. Here, nice, look at this nice photo here, nice landscape on a sunset, looks absolutely great. This is one of those old pictures, I guess. The quality is not that great. Look at this insane Minneapolis here, how big it is. Look how huge it is. Does look pretty cool in a way, but we're gonna see how many people live here. Pretty huge one, I would say. Look at this ranking. No population, 425,000 people living there. So I would expect a bit more. Demographic, look at this here. So back in 1850, it was like 6,000 people living in this state. The beginning of the 20th century was 1.7 million people living here. And the beginning of the 21st century was almost 5 million people living there. So now, estimates, look at this, by 2025. The last census was 5.7, the official one. The 2025, it's 5.8. So pretty decent, I would say, increase. They're still going up, but you can see the percentage starts to go down. But it's a different story with those numbers. We're gonna see by 2030 exactly where they land. But watch this. In 2000, okay, 88% of the population was white. Now, in 2020, 20 years later, it's 76 population, it's white. So they decreased 12% in just 20 years. So I was assuming by 2030, this number is gonna go below 70%. So probably gonna land around 66%. And that will be like just 2/3 of the states, it's white. The rest of them just got mixed. Black, look at this, from 3.4% to 6.8, huge increase. Native Americans from 1% to just 1%, so they stay pretty much roughly the same. But as you can see, the white population, because the population increased from 4.3 million to still to 4.3 million, just have a slightly increase. But the blacks got from 168,000 to 392,000, huge increase here. Asians also increase a lot from 2.8, 2.9% to 5.2%. Pacific Islanders from 0.03 to 0.05, so not that much. But even they almost double, as you can see, from 1,700 to 2,600. Other race from 0.10% to 0.37%. Even they got from 5,000 to 20,000. It's like 4 times more. Mixed race from 1.4% to 4.1%, from 70,000 to 236,000. Hispanic and Latino from 2.9% to 6%, from 143,000 to 345,000 people. Insane increase in population, as you can see. So population in 2000 was around 5 million. Now they are around, by 2020 at least, they are around 5.7 million. So they increased less than a million, but by now probably you can see it's 5.8. So they increase almost, like I say, almost a million people in the last 25 years. So by 2030, we're gonna have better information. So if they're gonna stay exactly 1 million in 25 years, even that itself is gonna remain, I would say, as a decrease of the population, but a decrease in percentage number, how much they increase. So yeah, not sure exactly it's in height white that means, probably the white population in areas when here not so white, there is more white and so on. Germans pretty much predominant here, Norwegian, and the white earth band. What the fuck that even means? I don't know. A lot of Mexicans, a lot of Somalians, as you can see. Hmong people, I don't know what the fuck that even means. Indians, Ethiopians, Laos, Chinese, Vietnamese, and so on. A lot of those. Look at this religion, nice looking church. Industry and commerce, typically skyscrapers, buildings, culture. Okay, nice building here. I mean, I kind of like those old pictures, you know, you see that those old cars when you used to have like decent, at least, cars. Now it's just like pop culture here. They just go bad after the warranty expires immediately. Education, just the building remains pretty much. Transportation, yeah, they have on the opening to the lakes, but that kind of it. Nice railroads. I mean, they genuinely looks pretty nice, much better than Europeans for sure. Overall, Europeans. Law and government. Oh, now we come into the most fucked up things here. Look at this guy. How you keep the? I never understand this. How someone to the rest of the country doesn't agree because does such a worse job, and then come back and still getting re-elected, or at least still staying in function. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane for me. There used to be more the more Republicans back in the day, but that changed quite significantly, as you can see. Starting from where they kind of start winning more elections over the Republicans, at least. From the 70s, pretty much. Even from the 30s, they have a bit. At least from the after World War One, at least they start winning more in the Great Depression. They start winning more over them. Interesting. Media, they have some sort of a posts here. Radio, TV, sports, outdoors, looking pretty nice. Nice cabin in the woods. Not exactly that nice, but you know, there's something there. So far, so good. Let's see how those almost 6 million people actually live. So let's start here. I want to start on this corner right here. And look at this. A lot of farms already. Look at this border right here, close to the border state. They have a lot of farms again. Great mystery. They have a plaque when you go outside the state, just for the curiosity. It's a great mystery for me. How the fuck the Americans still have such an expensive food? It's absolutely insane. Right, 9 miles ahead, 17 right. No, is the plaque of the state or not? It's not the plaque of the state. When you go outside, maybe they have on like a main road or something like that, but these ones, we are outside the state. I mean, this one is gonna be outside the state for sure. And no, we don't. It's say Minnesota here, but if I go here, it's Iowa. We have a plaque here. Zoning permit and zoning permits required. What do you mean zoning? You cannot go here? It's insane. And yeah, they don't have a plaque of the state. Pretty weird. But they have a lot of farms, and again, great mystery why the food is gonna be. It is already so expensive there. Absolutely insane. What else can we find here? This is what? This is 2021. Wow, like exactly in the pandemic year. Some sort of a smoke there, I guess. I don't know. The houses on the lower income. Those one looks a bit better. Not that many people, I would say. The road's pretty good. This is 2013. Wow, a while back here. The Google Street View car doesn't go here that often. Or maybe who knows, the data is not ready. It's a very small town. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many people is gonna remain here. So especially the young population, there is not that much incentive. Let's face it. Here it could look better. More rich people living here. You see that close opening to the lake, which makes it pretty nice. That's a really nice house. I like the color. But yeah, the same problem. Like those. First of all, those light poles absolutely horrible. Second of all, way too small spaces between the houses, and not that this is 2013, and not that much privacy. I would say not much vegetation, and okay, now it's a bit better, but still not that much. And they don't have, they don't have those cables here, which is good, but in the same time, it doesn't have again that nice cozy feeling that what I would expect it to. But at least it's a much richer area because they have an opening to the lake right there. And not that many people can afford that, for sure. For sure. That's a really nice house. That's a really nice lake there. Again, those concrete roads, not a bad thing, but still. This is more of the internal lake, internal reservoir of water. Yeah, house is pretty good. What kind of car is that? Look at this. They just barely fit in that garage. This one definitely doesn't fit in garage. That's why they keep it outside. But this one barely can squeeze it in into the garage. Same problem with the spacing. Same problem with the poles. It is Minnesota here at the best, I would say. God knows we're gonna find when you go inside the city. But yeah, the same problem is gonna be here. What can young people can do here? It's just like, besides that lake, but you need to have money for a jet ski at least to enjoy it. Look how many roads they have, and look how many the Google Street View car goes on them. So really appreciate it from that, I would say. Look at this, not even paved, but those are farming roads. You don't need pavement for those. But look how many they are. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. On the other side of the state, we have a really nice river here. And I want to check this road. Probably a dirt one. Oh no, it's a really decent look one. We have a railroad here, which is pretty good. Not that much traffic, which is amazing. Not so bad, not so bad. We have a small town here. Again, those small towns, ooh, really tough to live here for sure. Not because it could be a really wealthy one, but it's like, same problem. It's like, what are you gonna do here? It's like, you get bored really quickly. And look at this, they have the cables here, the houses, not so bad, but really seen better days. The road is pretty decent, potholes each and there, but not something that bad. Although it could be easy fixed. Nobody outside. And this is July 2023. Just have some cars here, but that's it. The lands are pretty nice overall, not so bad. But again, it's like 5 people living here, for God's sake. Genuinely, everybody knows each other for sure. But what are they doing from work for income? I mean, like, what kind of job you can find here? They have to go outside the town to work for sure. I mean, they have this port here, whatever it is, but and they seem to have like a jet ski and a Mercedes. So some of them they're doing very well with money, but and those houses also much better. Oh, look at this, 2020, 2012. There even was a house here, and now I have a really nice one, and they have a pool here on that river. I thought for a second it was gonna be like some sort of a business here, but no, it's actually houses here. Yeah, what are they gonna do for money? I don't know. Have a trading park here. Have a bigger city nearby. Probably they work here. I don't know. Bit strange. This one it's much bigger, and this one they have new constructions here. So this one could be a much better appreciating houses, and it looks pretty nice. Look at this, nice on the small hills. The road is pretty good. Cars really expensive, and houses really big. Not that much privacy, but you know, seem worse than this, so pretty good. It's not bad at all actually, but again, look at it. It looks a bit like Austria for a second. It does look like Austria for a second. Nice ones, really nice. Yeah, in this part, living like again, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing for work, but they're doing really well for the income at least. But again, the same problem for the young population. What are they gonna do here? This on the river, probably doing. Oh, look at those trains here. So we're not gonna be that quiet, but the house, damn, they look really nice. Roads, pretty good. Have the river behind it, which is pretty nice. Nice front yards also. I mean, it'll be pretty fun to live here. You know, you have the river, you can have like a jet skis and enjoying life there. Pretty good. Really good. Really good for sure. What else can we see? Well, it's a pretty big, even the Minnesota. Look at this. Pretty big Minnesota. Not bad. Not bad. Should we dive right in the city? Where is the midtown, the downtown, whatever they call it here? Let's check this one first. Huge skyscraper. This is Minneapolis. And another weird thing again, this is March 2022. I don't think the pandemic was still here. But not that many people on the street. And not that many cars either. Compared with Europeans, whoo, buddy. You're gonna be absolutely full, and every single hour doesn't matter unless it's not midnight. Between probably the only clear roads that we have here in Europe in the center of the city is between midnight and 6 a.m., 7 maybe, and that's it. But in the middle of the day, there is no way you're gonna have those roads there. There's no fucking way you're gonna have those roads. What else can we find here? They have a bike lane that nobody used, so that was money well spent. This is a bus station, which doesn't look so bad, I have to say. I'm not sure exactly why it's opening on the other side and not opening to the street. That's a bit strange. They mounted the other way. A bit of the garbage here, but not so bad. We seem worse than this. Wow, Mercedes here, nice Tesla luxury cars. This is a downtown car, and seen better days for sure. This Cadillac. those scooters, electric scooters that you can rent. Okay, those guys here just taking a break. They have a bit of the garbage here, but not something extreme. So I'm gonna blame that on the wind. Roads looks pretty good. So far, it's not that bad. But again, like I say, always go randomly on the map. I'm not choosing the good side or the bad side. Just those small driveways, alleys that they have between houses, I never like it. I think the alley looks absolutely horrible, but that's just me. What else can we find? Oh, it's a huge garden we are painting also. I like this street. A lot of this, they cover a lot of trees. They cover the road. Keep a nice temperature. The houses here, not so great, but not so bad either. The spaces between them very small. So again, not a big fan of those. Definitely, we can find some rich area for sure in Minneapolis. Easy. Easy for sure, we can find them. But now let's check those ones. Whoa, see, this garden seen better days for sure. And this one, it's pretty nice. Roads here, pretty good. Not that much to complain. Oh, that's a really nice house. A lot of vegetation here, which is nice. Really nice. And look at these poles. That's a nice light pole. Much better than the generic ones that we see those days pretty much everywhere. Oh, it's a rich area maybe. Does look really nice. Look at this house, how nice it is. The chimneys, looks pretty good. Not that many cars on the street, which is nice. A lot of privacy, much more privacy than I expected in a city, which is pretty good. Nice natural light, nice sunlight. Really nice. This patch here looks really nice. Really nice, you can see. And just a few blocks away, probably this one is not gonna look that great. Not so bad either, actually. But not that great either. And we have one in August, let's see. Not so bad. Not so bad. Roads, pretty good. Pretty good roads. Nothing to complain so far. So it's not that bad. It is not that bad for sure, but we seem definitely worse and better in the same time. But it's not bad at all. This road seen better days for sure. Again, those small alleys or streets or whatever they call it reminds me of Europe. It's not that pleasant to live here for sure. And this is the end of the road right there. But they have a lake, which it is nice, but I think they don't have access to it for whatever reason, because I don't see any docks. I mean, I see one of them here, but not that much. Oh, it's a lot of things happening here. Can we find the rich people? I guess there is somewhere around here, I will assume. Look at the docks, look at the vegetation. Streets pretty nice. Yeah, this is clearly a rich area. This is Arden Hills. Pink Fag is not a Arden Forest. Looks pretty nice. Yep, oh, look at this, pretty nice. I mean, we find a lot of those how bad things are in here and how much worse it is and all of that. But when you go here in those areas, it does look pretty good overall. It's not that bad, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean that those guys are lying. For sure, they have a lot of fraud there. They just find that fraud, so you cannot look away from that. That it's for sure. It's a really nice house. Oh, how nice it is here. But yeah, it's also they have really nice places too from rich people, obviously here in this case. But they do look pretty good. So it is a possibility, to have those things. What else can we find here? Well, I want to check this one here. Those straight line. Ooh, they have in a winter one. Okay, we don't see those very often. It does look pretty interesting. Can you have one in the summer? This is 2014. Ooh. Pretty good. pretty good. Didn't see one in the winter like this, but does look pretty good. I mean, this is what, February, so a lot of snow here. The main road now it's summer. The main road also was pretty looking good. Not so bad. Not so bad. All of those daycare. Look at this. It could be some frauds here. I don't know. It could be. I'm not gonna start investigating those, but could be. Oh, some nice poles there that I saw. Let us know. They make those street views with a lot of snow. It looks pretty nice. It does look pretty nice overall. Oh, look at this privacy here. That's good for them. Although the color of the house doesn't look that great in the winter, but let's see in the summer. Is that a Range Rover? Wow. Doesn't look that great in the summer either, so they should change the color there. Looking pretty good. Let's check those one. I have like a nice river here. Can go here and then just, I mean, it's not that nice, but you know, it's natural. It is what it is. Can go there and fishing maybe, who knows? Probably they're gonna ask you for a permit for that. There's no way they're gonna allow you that freedom. Who knows? Maybe they think you're gonna, oh, look at this guy. Think you're gonna steal all the fish and gonna eat all the fish, and there's gonna be no fish for whatever reason they need them there. It's a lot of things going on in here, but again, we have a lot of rich people too. Also, a lot of poverty too. Rich people. I mean, it's like, it is kind of rich people, you know, it looks pretty nice in here. Although houses look okay, the distance between them is like, not so great. Definitely, and the roads seen better days for sure, but overall, looks pretty good. I can wait for the just abolish this nonsense of property taxes and everything that you own, like a car and anything that getting taxed. Absolutely insane. I don't know exactly how we keep doing this. I don't know how we accept this. It's absolutely insane for us. It's our fault, not the government. Keep in mind that because we keep paying them, we keep accepting this, which is absolutely insane. I want to see if that tree it's that yellow or it's just a lie. I think it's a lie. Looking pretty good here. Yeah, I mean, again, the same difference, like the houses are way too close to each other, but overall, it's pretty nice place to live. Not that much to complain. I kind of understand. See, that's why the Americans doing very well. Even in those major big cities, you can go home after you work in an actually home. In Europe, you go into an apartment, you have to struggle with the parking because you might not have a parking space and you're gonna cost you a lot of money to rent one, and it's probably not gonna find one, and all the nonsense. You just wanna die as fast as possible here in Europe. But here, just as nice. Like you leave the work behind, you leave everything there, you just go home and have a cold one, sit on the chair or just watching the stars or whatever you want to do and just completely relax. In Europe, you have an apartment, you have to smell whatever the guy under you is gonna cook. You have to listen to whatever they're talking because it's some of them talking so loud. You have to walk stairs to go home. You have a tiny small apartment. You just, again, wishing for a quick, fast death as soon as possible. Ideally, this is how bad it is here. I don't care if you have like money, you're like in a middle bracket or anything like that. It's just you're still gonna have pretty much the same life, which sucks big time. But here, you go home, you park your car, you go in a backyard, again, drink some beer or whatever you want to drink and just looking at the nice sky. Even if you do live in a big city like this one, if you live in the countryside, probably it's even better. But yeah, I want to check the coast state here, the coastline. Probably this one is gonna look even better. Make sure I'm not going outside. This one, yeah. I want to check first of all this towns here. Oh, look at this. It has no worries, see? Doesn't stay in the sun, not exactly that great, but still looking pretty. And then live in those apartment buildings, which that's why it's a bit sucks, but still. Those who have a house, and this is like a very European house, very European looking. They doing much better. Look at the privacy; it's pretty good. And we have the coastline so close you can genuinely walk to the beach. Genuinely, let's see where they find the beach. I mean, those guys here are looking really well. Those are the rich ones. So, okay, I don't even see the house. That's how much privacy those guys have. Good for them, buddy. Good for them. I mean, look at this. That's a pretty nice place to live. And we have a 360 here. Let me check this one of this. Not so great quality, so but still you have an opening, to the lake. Looking pretty good. Better than most of us, so good for you. Why don't have that many 360s? That's sad. But yeah, a house here on the lake, and usually it's a really nice one. They have boats here, as you can see that they're moving around. They do looking pretty well. And even here, if you don't afford that, you might afford something like this. Man, so many flags here. A lot of working, I don't know, construction working on the road. Not sure exactly what's happening there, but it doesn't look that pleasing. That's a really nice house too. Although closer to the main road, so we're gonna have a lot of traffic. Still, I prefer one of those here, but for whatever reason, I can see a beach. Oh, this one. Okay, find this one. Let's check how nice it is. Okay, not that nice here because it's in the winter. I cannot see anything, but let's check this one. There's no one making it in the summer. What the fuck? Just want to see one in the summer. Oh, look this one. Yeah, that's pretty nice. A bit too much stones, I would say, but still, look at this. You have a nice warm summer. This is November. What the fuck? Is that hot there in November? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's in November. And they have another land to, make for new constructions, which is pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty good. Yeah, the coastline still looking pretty well. And they have some houses here, which is nice in the forest pretty much. Can even see the house. That's how nice it is. And they have a nice good road to go home. If you want to work there and you want to, maybe you cannot afford a property here, but definitely you can afford one if it's a bit further than the main cities. And you can have even more privacy and cheaper lands. This one, it's so, whoa, look at this. It's worth it. It's worth it for sure, in my opinion. Just stay just a bit further. I mean, like, maybe no more than, I don't know, 20 miles or something like that. And it should be pretty fun. Pretty fun for sure. Look at these guys here. Nice big property. Nice view of the ocean, of the lake. And keep in mind, the population is still gonna start, they're gonna start going down. Of course, you're gonna have like some moving around in the population area when the people they're gonna start to go to the countryside more and buy houses and build houses like those guys here, as you can see, because people wants to live now in the nice places. But those guys, they kind of fucked up because they're way too close to each other, the property, so they don't have that much privacy. So those houses probably in the next 50 years they're gonna become abandoned, most likely. And at some point the government, or at least companies, private companies, they're gonna step in and just recycle those materials to build new ones in a more desirable places. But that's not so bad. That's what I say. You are too poor to buy twice, or if you are cheap, you buy twice. You should not build something like that because it's not desirable. It's useful, fine. People need houses, but it's not desirable. So if it's not desirable, it's not gonna last that much longer. You should build right in the first place, in my opinion. Oh, look at the cliffs here. How big they are. Ooh, look at it. I don't think I'm gonna jump from here. Like, it's insane, but look how nice it is. Really didn't have a platform there. You can no, it's like an antenna for the signal. It's pretty big. Let's check this one. And you can actually go down there. No, not exactly that. Go down there, but close to it. It's a high coastline, so it's not easy access. Don't have. Oh, this one. It's a beach here with a river. Fortunately, nobody bothered to make a 360 there when it actually matters. But hey, if you wanna swim in a lake, there is definitely some opportunities. Stand there on the nice beach. This is what, April? Maybe it's a bit cold, but hey. People always were attracted by water, so it's a really nice place to stay. And this is March and they have snow there, so I have to be. Oh, look at the deer here. Another one. Wow. It's a lot of another one here. Another one. What the fuck? It's a lot of wildlife here. And they have probably they go to the river to drink water. I don't know. And then look at this. Go to the lake. Looks pretty nice. This is the lake in the September. Does look good. Yeah, it's a lot of things you can do here for sure. And again, those states that they have an opening to those lakes, they do look really nice. Especially that one in Michigan. We did like it a lot. I do mean a lot. People are attractive to water. It's just the way we are. And I'm not sure exactly if they have bears here, but ooh, I will not take a risk there. Never understand why we keep bears around. Just it's much more powerful species that they can kill us that easy. It's weird for me. Nice clear water, as you can see. You can enter the water pretty nicely. Genuinely, America has nice place to live. That's why we're gonna see when we go to those states. I mean, we see a few states that are like, even this one it's landlocked, but at least have these great lakes that looking absolutely great. I'm not sure exactly how you can convince people to live in those states when there's not that much to do in the first place, or these small towns. This is clearly a ski resorts here for sure. The way they, yeah, 100%, yeah. See, easy to spot. How are we gonna keep those people there to? I don't know. I don't think US is gonna be like Europe, forced to go into at some point into a reform that having like less states. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's gonna be like largely some of the states gonna be like losing insane amount of population by the end of the century, and they're gonna be pretty much empty. Maybe they're gonna use the land for farming at some point or factories when the robots is gonna do 100% of the jobs and just someone in the office checking a few things once a week or go there for a few checkups, but that's it. In order to provide, for whatever we need. But yeah, those nice states that they have, especially an opening to the water, a lake, ocean, seas. They're gonna golfs. I will not keep that camera right like that there. It's just no way. Maybe they have a lot of money. I don't know, but still, I will not keep it. Those states that they have an opening to the water pretty much in a nice place, they're gonna become really desirable. Even though that right now probably the economic they're not that desirable, that's not gonna be a huge problem in the future. So yeah, those who have a nice climate also is gonna get desirable really quick. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that will change for sure in the near future. And like probably again by 2050, we will see some changes. But by the end of the century, it's gonna be much more clear which states won, which one lost. It is what it is. And clearly they have a lot of coastline that it's underdeveloped, so we can easily build some houses here and make it look really nice. for the people to actually enjoy their life in the nice places. That's a huge property here. What is going on? Wow, it's probably, yeah, an old one, an old fort one or something like that, a Viking one. What is going on? I don't know, but it's something that's close to Canada. It does look pretty nice. Do they have a border here? I mean, it's gonna be Canada at some point. This is gonna be a border for sure. But I mean, look at those guys. You can cross the border here or what? Just saying, you know. I mean, it's one of it could be like a lot of places you can actually. I mean, look at this. Probably they have some security for sure, but I don't know. It's strange. On the other side, you're in Canada. On the other side, you are in US. There's definitely you can jump from this one to this one. At some point, it just cross the board, and just one of those things that is very close to the population. So, not exactly recommended, you know, but it can be that hard as this point right here. Yeah, a bit weird, but I guess it's like Canada. It's like, who's gonna run into Canada unless you have something down here? Oh, that's a nice place here. Look at this, how nice it looks. North America right there. That's America, 100%. You know, like what kind of American are you? You are from Colorado, Missouri, American, 100%. Florida, not so much. That guy in the Civil War movie is gonna come back a lot in the near future. A lot of people is gonna look up to that guy. Let me tell you, it's gonna create quite a following for that guy. Especially, I don't know whose idea was with those glasses, but I look into those glasses on the internet, and everything that I could saw that was related to that guy, to that movie, it was sold out. So that tells me it's gonna be a huge follow for this guy. It's quite a character for sure. You're gonna see those glasses everywhere if you look for those in Colorado and Missouri for sure. You're gonna find those glasses. Other lakes here. Wow, look at this. Small ones, obviously, not the huge ones, but even those small ones, as they seems to look, they are pretty huge. Property developers, again, a huge problem with those guys because they build like really cheap and poor, in my opinion. So you have to, whoa, what the fuck is going on? How many pairs of shoes? They live here? What the fuck? I don't think that somebody lives here, but it's like way too many stuff. Why they put the rations, right? Why they wash the clothes? What is going on here? I don't know. They flee society. I mean, like look at those Nikes. They had like a lot of them. So I don't know what those are, but really some hippies here in two tents. But it's a really nice place. See, developers usually don't develop the land that well. Usually, not every time. There are some few that probably doing a really good job. Allowing the people to genuinely build the house that they want is gonna do much better for the land and for the house for sure. So that it's a much better. Americans usually they don't like to tackle those kind of things. He thinks that it's very hard and not that desirable to build your own house, but trust me, it's way better. It's way better than just buy it already done from a developer. That's pretty big road here. Now we're going on the tarmac. Looking pretty well. Looking pretty well. I mean, Minnesota is not so bad, I have to say. And again, look at this up north. So many farming lands again. And salad is like $3 or whatever. It's like insanely expensive. Look how much they have. This is Canada right there, 100%. Let's check those guys here. I mean, those look pretty nice. That's way too small of the house. Even from the European standards, for God's sake. Yeah, the same problem with those neighborhoods. Maybe some hippies live here and they just a different story for them. But for the regular guys living in a small place like this, especially from the young person, it's not gonna be that desirable for long. Which again, a lot of problems. Look at this, another food here. A lot of food, a lot of food that they have, and I'm not sure again why it's so expensive. Wow. I don't think they build this on the ice in the winter. I mean, it seems to be like that. This is January and those lights here looking pretty good, but I'm not sure if I want to live on the lake. And I get it, it's frozen and all of that, but why would you bother with that? Yeah, they genuinely live on the lake. They go, what? That's the border with Canada? They go on the lake border? They have a lake border? They have a ice border? It's pretty weird. Got the straight line right there. And it's weird, but we have to check Canada at some point for sure, so I want to check this down for now. It's gonna be interesting to see how Canada, much smaller population, it's gonna be, but they increase insanely high in the last, even this century, in the 21st century, but in the 20th century, even higher. I'm not sure exactly where they're gonna land in Canada and how bad things are there, but we're gonna check them after we finish the US videos. Canada, Australia, those they are the main ones, and then probably comparing Europe with the US, one of one. We have an opening Windows here and another one here, so you can actually check them. Because I want to see one of one. I already know which one lives better, but it's nicer, to make like a genuinely one-on-one comparison. Have like a real open debate and a final answer once for all. A lot of crap here. What the fuck is going on in here? I don't like this. But yeah, overall, even Minnesota looking really nice. Really nice. Geographically, absolutely great. Even in the big cities, didn't seem that much trouble, to be honest. But yeah, doesn't mean it's not there. We already seen the corruption there, so really bad. But it looks really nice. It does. I mean, the only state again that I can genuinely say I did not like it at all, it was West Virginia. That's it. The rest of them, yeah, they seem some good and bad. Some of them with more bad, like Louisiana, for example. But even there, it's like some genuinely nice place too. Americans doing better again. They're doing, look at this. They just randomly on the map, and I can say that most likely they're gonna do better than Europeans. This one, it's in the fields, but they do better than Europeans, and it's really sad for us Europeans to admit that the Americans, a country that only has like 250 years of independence starting this summer, they're doing way better. I do mean way better than us. I am interesting to see after the civil war where they're gonna land on migration, and if they're gonna allow it to have most of the migration, like 90% of migration, coming from the Europe, from the Western worlds, pretty much, and how the country is gonna transform that, because it's gonna be like the another frontier, I would say, again. Mostly not exactly the same one-on-one comparison, but the Europeans, when they go to the United States back in the 19th century, for example, in the 20th century, clearly they improve. I mean, like any white guys here knows that it's a descent of the Europeans mostly, and we see how great work for them. So it's gonna be interesting if they can actually repeat that process with whatever remains from Europe. That would be insanely nice, insanely interesting to see it. And again, probably it's gonna be the country with the first universal income. They have the tools, let's say, for that. Europeans, I mean, we keep talking about the American Civil War that's about to happen, but it won't be that a huge surprise if that happened in the Europe first. It just all of a sudden it erupts in Europe. In Europe, it's like, what the fuck? Everybody look on the American side and it doesn't look on the European, and just bap, starts in Europe actually. It is something for sure, yeah. But definitely the between America and Europe, the US definitely have the future, 100%. That it's not even close. I mean, yeah, it's way ahead, way ahead. They have a lot of few problems that they need to fix, but overall, it's still better than Europe. And that's it's just the fact. And again, we're gonna start after we finish all those videos to compare one on one to see exactly how one side and how the other side lives, and to be no debate. But yeah, it is. I mean, we already know. Anyone in Europe's already know. In the US, there might be a few things probably in those blue cities that they think, oh, Europeans have it better. It's just doing. Just come here and see, and then we can draw a conclusion for yourself. There is a reason why most of the people that go from Europe US remain in US, and most of the people that go from the US to Europe go back to US. There is a reason why. That's what I'm gonna say. Wow, looking way different from above and from the look at this. Those four, it feels like it's a lake here that's frozen for sure. Yeah, it is nice one. A lot of land. You can develop a lot of houses. We can start building a lot of houses, a lot of new towns. I don't think we need cities anymore. But towns that is genuinely interesting, not in the middle of nowhere. Those are really hard to build for really hard. It's pretty much the same house and the same everything, but it's gonna be harder to keep the people there. Yeah, around the lakes and around a nice place that people actually enjoy living. That's gonna be much easier to keep them there and make them really nice. This one seen better days for sure, but Europe has a lot of nice place too. It's just overall looks bad. This is inside the American border. What is going on in here? That's a weird one. Is that still Minnesota? Minnesota into United States Postal Service. What the fuck? It is Minnesota, right? I don't know. Could be. Hmm. That's a nice garden. A lot of wood here. American, they're pretty rich. I don't know exactly why they don't switch to the heat pumps. It's like probably get their money back in first year for sure. Yeah, that was Minnesota overall. I mean, like it's pretty nice. Pretty look, they have a border city here. It's pretty nice. Not that much to complain. We've seen definitely worse places for sure. But this one, you look at this. Genuinely, it's pretty nice to live. And it's not that much. I mean, like the rest of the US, you can find a nice place there. I'm not sure again what they're doing for work and how this new job market's gonna affect by 2050. But overall, seems to do pretty well. Genuinely, pretty well. Not that compared again with the rest of the world, with the rest of the Western world doing really well, and with the rest of the world, it's paradise. For God's sake, we mentioned that already. And it does look very nice. Seen better days here, probably like more trees and all of that, but look at the nice backyards that they have. They need more privacy in the front, but overall, and they have a river there, looking pretty good. Again, farming land a lot. Have a golf course here, which is nice. Highways here. They start constructing something here, I'm not sure. Nice pile of water there. A lot of farming land again. They're looking pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice place. So yeah, that was the video about Minnesota. Not so bad at all. Not so bad at all. Minneapolis there, seen definitely some really nice places, but again, it's a city. It's not so my taste. Just not exactly for me. But Hey, still pretty good too. So yeah, if you live here, just leave a comment, see how things are. But overall, they seems to do pretty well, and they have a really nice opening to the lake here, which is really serve them well. But overall, Minnesota, it is another great state so far.